to On Wrestling. I'm Adam. This is the weekly review. This week we're going to review Dynamite and Collision. So we're going to talk about Clark Connors versus Darby Allin. We're going to talk about Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe there for the TNT title. I'm looking forward to chatting more about Kenny versus Andrade. So on this channel too, you can find Match Review Monday, where this week we did discuss Mark Briscoe versus Tommaso Ciampa from Ring of Honor back in 2013. We also have on this channel an unboxing video that we did last week, this is one of the shirts there, so you can check that out. You can also find us on the socials here, so if you could share and subscribe, that'd be really appreciated. Otherwise, let's get into the Collision review. So for Collision this week, we kicked off with Darby Allin versus Clark Connors. And I really liked this match because it started differently to what we usually see. So we saw Clark Connors attacking Darby on the way down, which was really good. So in this match, I always enjoy a Darby Allin Code Red. The bit there where Clark Connors attacked Darby on the top rope with the leg sweep, that was really good as well. We saw Darby tumble from that. And then the way that Clark then threw Darby into the barricade. I really liked the shoulder blocks too on the outside by Clark Connors. I generally did really enjoy the way he attacked and stalked Darby in this match. There was a really good back and forth there between the two that ended with Clark Connors doing a really nice release suplex and then just charging Darby. He was really hunting him, really charging him, and even speared him on the apron as well. From the inside, we also saw Darby do a drop kick off the stairs, and then we saw some classic Darby flying from the inside to the outside of the ring and a nice scorpion death drop. Clark Connors also used his knees to defend the coffin drop, and ultimately we did see the scorpion deathlock used here to get the win over Clark Connors by Darby. But this is really great. This is a really enjoyable opener. I haven't seen a lot of Clark Connors before, so it was really good to see him getting this opportunity to shine on Collision. One thing we did see at the end there was Darby declaring his plans to take on the world title from MJF, but Gabe Kidd, joined by Clark Connors at the end there, attacked Darby and placed him under the stairs. So interesting to see where that goes. I've seen a bit of speculation around, could that be leading to Forbidden Door, like a bigger build this year for Forbidden Door with some real story and heat behind it, and that would be something that would be really good. So the next match for Collision was a tag match between the Rascals, that being Desmond Xavier and Zachary Wentz, against Crew, and that being Action Andretti and Leo Rush. So this was the in-ring debut of the Rascals in AEW. Like I mentioned in previewing this week last week, I have seen the Rascals before in TNA and in NXT. So I really liked the opening combination of speed here with Desmond Xavier and Leo Rush was really good. We saw some really good fun combination by the Rascals in the corner where they were tagging in. I really liked the Action Andretti arm tag as well. And we saw Zachary Wentz displaying his tornado as well throughout the match, which was really nice. And Action Andretti also had some great height there off jumping off the top rope. So Crew, they did have some really nice offense in this match. I like it when they change direction. Both teams together had really great chemistry and something I would enjoy seeing them wrestle together more. Rascals did get the win here with the Hot Fire Flame, but I really enjoyed this tag match. It was really good to see this combination of the Rascals together. I'm pretty keen to see them teaming with Myron Reed and seeing Myron get maybe a singles match to debut or them as a trio. Lots of different combinations they can do there. So the next match for Collision was a mixed tag team match, and that was Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus Gino Medina and Lady Bird Monroe. So this match was pretty much a bit of Orange Cassidy into Tony Storm's greatest hits. Basically, we saw a nice DDT by Orange there. We saw the hip attack from Tony, and then the Orange Punch to get the win. This match then led to Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir appearing in the ring, and through the back and forth and the fighting there, we did see a declaration for a match happening here in Australia at Grand Slam Australia in a few weeks, and that will be a hair versus hair match. So it'd be interesting to see that one as well. Looking forward to seeing those guys wrestle with an Australian crowd. So the next match on Collision was my favourite match of Collision and is my Collision match of the week, and that was the AEW TNT title match between Mark Briscoe, the champion, and Tommaso Ciampa, who debuted last week and declared for this Open Challenge. So, as part of this week's Match Review Monday, I did review the 2013 match between Tommaso Ciampa and Mark Briscoe in Ring of Honor. So, check that one out. But I did like the opening back and forth in this match. Always love when Mark Briscoe jumps from the inside out. And we did have a nice crane kick there. And if you're like me and you do enjoy Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, always enjoy a crane kick. We did see some really nice chops there on the outside. And what I did like was the Psycho Driller there on the apron too. That had some great impact in this match. Mark Briscoe made a comeback there, but Tommaso Ciampa shut that down pretty quickly with a really nice kick in his face. We did see another Mark Briscoe comeback there, but that was stopped by another dropping DDT by Tommaso Ciampa. We had some really good chops again by Ciampa. We did see the Froggy Boy here to try and get the win, but that was kicked out. What I like there is then it was followed up by the Psycho Driller by Ciampa, but that was then kicked out as well. So both finishers had been kicked out at this stage, which makes you think what's going to happen next. We did see a table being set up as well in this match. I really enjoyed that running knee by Ciampa on Mark Briscoe there. Mark Briscoe did get a jump from the top rope through the table. We also saw some great hands being thrown in the ring. And there was a missed knee there that did lead into the Froggy Bow. But that knee by Ciampa, as lethal as it was how Ciampa got the win. So congratulations to Tommaso Ciampa for getting a title win here in his first match in AEW. What's interesting is we did see Kyle Fletcher come out at the end there. Don Callis has really been teasing and talking about Fletcher going for that TNT title again. I don't know where that match will be. If it's here in Australia, I think that's a bit too soon for that match, but that could be a really good Revolution match and kind of where I'd prefer it to be. So we'll see how that all plays out, but I really enjoyed that TNT title match, and I hope you guys did too. Let me know what you think in the comments with that one. So the next match we had on Collision was the AEW International title match, and that was Kazuchika Okada versus Adam Priest. So it was quite interesting as Okada came out. He didn't have his robe or the international title, and as it's confirmed today, social media, he had lost his luggage there. So that explains why the title was in a AEW bag. What I did like in this match was Adam Priest. I really enjoyed how Adam Priest was going for the chops from the start. He landed a really good chop in the corner there, and you did see that come up on Okada's chest. We did see Rocky Romero on commentary, but then he did leave commentary to attack Adam Priest during the match, and I did really enjoy the way Okada was selling his knee. We did see a really nice roll over the top from the outside in by Okada, and we did see a really nice neck breaker and suplex by Adam Priest in this match. Adam Priest got some really nice offense. We did see a mega sell of the knee there by Okada, which made me laugh, and Adam Priest did use that to get in the figure four. Towards the end of this match, we saw the classic Okada dropkick, which is just beautiful. I love that dropkick. It is one of my favorites in wrestling, and Okada did get the win here with the Rainmaker. The main event this week for Collision was the AEW Women's World Tag Team title match, and that was between the Babes of Wrath being Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale against the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So things I liked in this match was there was a really nice double senton in this match, and I did enjoy the combinations by the Sisters of Sin. I do enjoy the double faceplant they do. Oh, there was a really nice combination there of the tarantula hold by Julia, and then there was a kick combination there with Sky Blue. In these matches, you're always going to get a really nice pop there for Willow when she gets the tag, and whenever she hits the pounce, it's so good. It just gets the crowd going. It's one of my favorites. One thing Harley Cameron did that I enjoyed in this match was she had a really nice backstabber, and we did see Julia Hart reverse the Babe with the power bomb there. Now, Harley Cameron towards the end here did hit a really nice crucifix bomb, and they had a nice combination there to get the win over the Sisters of Sin. Now, at the end here, we did see a broad end collision, which isn't the first time we've seen a broad end collision. And that where we did see Tekla join the Sisters of Sin, but we did see Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford join them in the ring. So that still leaves those questions open from last week. Which title is Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford going after? Is it the TBS or is it the tag titles? I would like to see, if Megan Bayne isn't going for the world title, I'd like to see Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford get the tag match and probably win the tag titles. I think they would do really, really nice things with that in that division. So that's my thoughts on Collision this week. Let me know what you thought, and now we can get into the Dynamite review. Okay, so kicking off Dynamite this week, we had a 6-man tag, and that was the Don Callis family as an El Clon, Josh Alexander and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Death Riders, and that was Daniel Garcia, John Moxley, and Pac. So in this match from the start there, we saw technical versus technical. Then we moved into speed versus speed and power versus power. And I think all these combinations here were great. And I'd really like to see maybe an individual match series of all of them against each other. In this match, we saw Takeshita lifting Pac over the top. But one thing I did really enjoy in this match was Pac versus El Clon as well. I really enjoyed their combinations together and the speed that they showed against each other there. One particular highlight for me was the Moxley elbow strike, and he also did a really nice cutter as well. I really enjoyed the Dragon Tamer and Stomp combination there by the Death Riders, and we did see some really nice combinations there. Takeshita did a really nice combination there with the Don Callis family into the power drive knee. These guys all had really good chemistry, I thought, in the match. And ultimately, we did see Takeshita getting the win there with the Raging Fire. So this just continues to build this burgeoning feud now between the Don Callis family and the Death Riders. We will see on Grand Slam here in Australia, we will see that match between Mox and Takeshita for the Continental title. And I'm really interested to see which way they go with that. Because I did think that was going to be the Revolution match. So really interested to see how that all pans out. But really enjoyed this one to start off. Dynamite that I really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed the venue too. It's one of those really unique venues that AEW are doing more and more, and it's something that I'm really enjoying. So the next match we had was a mixed tag, and that was between Orange Cassidy and Toni Storm versus Brittany Brooks and Jordan Oasis. So this is a match for Cassidy and Storm to build towards their Grand Slam match against Willa Yuna and Marina Shafir. I did wonder, and I saw it a bit on social media too, did they pick someone bald on purpose? Because that match is going to be hair versus hair. So it was a fun little match, very harmless. You saw some fun dancing moves there, really nice DDT. But then Orange Cassidy did get the orange punch for the win. So it's a bit of fun, building towards the match here in Australia, and pretty harmless, really. So the next match on Dynamite was Hangman Adam Page versus Mark Davis. This was a singles match. I did really enjoy Davis drop kicking Hangman into the corner and then getting straight into some chops. So as you know on this channel, it's one of my favorite things. We saw chops back and forth. We saw some really nice wrist control chops as well. Overall, with this match, I did really enjoy Mark Davis's aggression. You can see that when he was crushing Hangman on the outside. And he did have some really nice strikes in the corner in this match as well. Leg swept out by Davis there, which then ended up being a powerbomb in the end. One bit I really enjoyed was the Orihara moonsault by Hangman in the crowd, but then also followed it up by another moonsault press in the ring. And that was really nice. And one of my favorite things about Hangman is his moonsaults. Really enjoyed there was a really nice lariat by Davis, but then Hangman got him with the Deadeye. This then proceeded with Hangman getting Davis and taking him outside and hitting him with a tombstone on the ramp. So that's one of the unique things about this venue setup is we do get a ramp that can be utilized, and I thought it was really well utilized here. Hangman does get the win with the buckshot lariat, but I really enjoyed this match. Seeing Mark Davis in a singles match is always good fun. He brings what I like, the power and the chops, like when he was wrestling with Jake Doyle the other week before he got injured. So overall, I enjoyed this one, and Hangman is on the road to Grand Slam, and we'll see what else comes out of that. So the next match for Dynamite was match 4, and that was Andrade versus Kenny Omega. So I was really looking forward to that, and this was my match of Dynamite. So this opened with some chops, which is very welcomed on this channel. We did see an early attempt to the One Wing Angel on the outside by Kenny, but Andrade did reverse that. We did see some really nice wrist control chops that moved into a You Can't Escape from Kenny, which is something I really enjoy from Kenny. One thing that I am a big fan of is Andrade with his three amigos. And one thing I liked about this one was that he took it from the inside to the outside. Now, this was all part of his plan because, again, he was showing off to some girls in the crowd. So we did see him initially see them, and then he went and did a tornado to then come back to them as well and get a selfie. So that's part of Andrade's aura at the moment. That's growing and growing. I think we'll end up with a whole row at this stage, maybe a whole bay, who knows, the way he's going, especially if he does win the world title at some stage this year or next. I did see Andrade try to hit his double moonsault there, but Kenny got the knees up. One thing I enjoyed there was Andrade locking in the figure 4 after Kenny missed a V-trigger, so using each other's key weapons there. Did then see some really good snapdragons by Kenny and a really nice V-trigger in the corner. There was another attempted One Wing Angel, but that was reversed. And then Andrade was able to lock in the Hammerlock DDT, only for Kenny to lock out. So some really good offense for both of them. We did see some really crisp knees in the corner there from Andrade, which then led into some more chops. We love that. Kenny set up for the V trigger, but Andrade used that spinning back elbow, which is one of my favorite Andrade offense moves, because I love the way it's a surprise. Now, we did see Don start to get involved here, which is not one of my favorite things. I do like Don Callis as a heel, but that screwdriver, that pesky screwdriver was used again. That we did see a distraction with Swerve getting involved there. Then Andrade was able to hit Kenny and then use the DM to get a win. So that means now that Andrade has moved on to Grand Slam Australia and will face Hangman. Now, Kenny was angry with Swerve. Is he going to face him at Revolution? Let's wait and see. Maybe it'll be further down the track. Not sure. But overall, I really enjoyed this match. I wish there wasn't a screwdriver involved, but this is what you're going to get with Don Callis family at the moment. But these two definitely put on great matches, and I think there's more to these two down the track too. And I'm enjoying this run by Andrade. The 5th match for Dynamite this week was the AEW World Tag Team title eliminator match, and this was the first of 2 eliminator matches for Dynamite. So that was Mega Bad in Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. So I really enjoyed the Babes of Wrath's combinations in this match. I think like both teams have good chemistry together, and I think both teams individually as tag teams have really good movesets and chemistry. I did really enjoy the Megan Bayne chops on Willow in the corner, and I think Megan Bayne and Willow work really well together, and I think they could have a really good TBS title match down the track. The Hurricane Runner there by Megan Bayne was really nice, and she also did a really nice tope suicida onto Willow. Mega Bad, I thought they had a really nice combination there in the corner. You see with Megan Bayne, she has the power where they're really starting to utilize Penelope Ford's athleticism. There's a really nice punch there on Megan Bayne in the match. And then Harley Cameron, she was bringing her speed into the match. There's really good double suplex, but then Penelope Ford countered with a really nice blockbuster neck breaker. Megabad did get the win here with the Doomsday device, which then now earns them a title shot against the Babes with the Power at Grand Slam here in Australia. So interesting to see where they go with that. I do think initially we will see a tag title change, but we'll wait for a few weeks and we'll find out. The sixth match for Dynamite this week was the AEW National Title match, and that was between Ricochet and Jack Perry. So from the start, we saw Jack jump Ricochet. In this match, I really did enjoy the leap there by Jack Perry and some chops on the barricade as well. And we did see some more chops in the ring too, so I'm very happy with that. There was a really nice backdrop there by Ricochet of Jack Perry onto the commentary desk, and it was really smooth how Ricochet was able to pick Jack Perry up from his slide from the inside out and hit him on the desk. We did also see Jack do a really nice over the rope jump there after holding onto the ropes and getting back in the ring. I like how Ricochet caught Jack Perry from the DDT, showed his strength, but that also did end with a very nice Death Valley driver on the outside. We did see a really good sequence too of there was a super kick by Jack Perry, Ricochet countered with a lariat. We did see one of those classic Jack Perry poison runners. Then we also saw another diving DDT by Jack and another cutter as well in there too. The snare trap did get used here in the match for Jack to try and get the win, but we did see Gates of Agony on the outside and they were joined by the Young Bucks, so glad that we could clear them out. But that did provide an opportunity for Ricochet to use the title. So Jack Perry did get hit in the corner there with the title, and Ricochet then proceeded to get the win with the Vertebraker. So interested to see where we go here with that. Is there a third match of this series? Be interesting because it's now 2-0 to Ricochet over Jack. So I'm not sure if they would do like a stipulation match maybe as a third match. Maybe Jack would get the win there. I have said before I'd like to see the Demand move to the trios titles and win those. I think that would be a really good trio. But overall, I did enjoy this match. And the last match for Dynamite this week was the World Title Eliminator match on the men's side, and that was MJF versus Brody King, and this was a very fast match. So we did get that really nice main event lighting, the start there, but we did have Hangman coming out from the start there to create a distraction for MJF. So Brody then proceeded to hold MJF over on the outside. That classic Brody King cannonball into the corner and using the Gonzo bomb to get the win. So Brody King has won the Eliminator. So it's 2 for 2 for Eliminators in this episode of Dynamite. So he will now proceed on to Grand Slam here in Australia for his world title fight there. So that's really interesting, and I was quite enjoyed that it was a surprise because the show was already over 2 hours when it started. So I wondered how much time this was going to get. Not much time at all. It was straight to the point. Then we had quite a lot going on after the ring. We had Andrade attacking Brody and MJF. We had Hangman attacking Andrade, MJF attacking Hangman, and then Brody King Gonzo bombing their MJF to hold the title at the end. So the world title scene has a lot of different components, different wrestlers at the moment, heading towards Revolution. It'd be interesting to see post-Revolution and Dynasty who will be the contender there, whether it's Hangman or Andrade at Revolution. I'd like it to be Andrade for something different. We've seen a lot of Hangman at the top there, and he was previously the world champ. So it would be nice to see Andrade get that platform. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode of Dynamite. Let me know what you think. And now let's get into the next week preview. Okay, so for next week, we're going to look at Collision to start off with. So I'm looking forward to seeing the first match here. We're going to see a tag team match between the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson versus the Gates of Agony. So Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. I think that'll be a really fun match. This match I'm really looking forward to, and I think it will probably be the match of Collision. We'll wait and see, but it's the AEW TNT title three-way match between Tommaso Ciampa, Claudio Castagnoli, and Roderick Strong. I'm a big fan of all of their work, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see Kevin Knight versus Scorpio Sky, and Kevin Knight I do really enjoy, and they even gave him a package this week on Dynamite, so I think that'll be a lot of fun too. We're going to see Mina Shirakawa versus Vader Van, which I think will be good. And we're going to see more Death Rider action, so that'll be Marina Shafir Wheeler Yuta versus Skyflight and Dante Martin and Zeta Still. So they're warming up for their match here in Australia at Grand Slam. We're going to see Tekla versus Brittany Brooks, which I think will be good to see Tekla again, and leading up to her match against Chris Statlander next week on Dynamite. And then probably the main event is going to be this 8-man tag team parking lot brawl. And that's Big Bill, Brian Keith, the Grizzled Young Vets, and that's against Eddie Kingston, Ortiz, and the Rascals. So that could be good. We haven't seen a parking lot brawl for a little while, so I think that'll be a lot of fun, a lot of plunder. We always enjoy that. And then over on Dynamite, we're going to see the number one contender match there for the tag titles. Now, potentially the Young Bucks or Gates of Agony. We'll wait and see. And we've got the Rascals, but this time it's going to be a combination of Desmond Xavier and Myron Reed. So looking forward to seeing Myron Reed's AEW in-ring debut and a wild card. Now, it's funny. I've seen a few names thrown around. I think people are on the money. I think it's going to be Cope and Christian there, leading to them versus FDR at Revolution, which sort of feels like that's been what FDR have been waiting for a while. We're going to see a AEW World Title match next week between Statlander and Tekla, and on Collision we will find out what the stipulation is here. So looking forward to that. And there's another match here I can see that I'm not going to read out, but it looks really good too. So using cage match has some advantages and sometimes tells me too much when I'm doing this preview. So looking forward to all of that. Let me know what you're looking forward to, and we'll have match review Monday released next week, which I'm looking forward to that because we're talking about a WWE match, which we haven't done in any WWE matches on this channel yet. So looking forward to talking about that, and have a great week, and we'll catch you next time.